back to Old Soul Podcast. My name is Bree, that's spelled Brei. Thank you so much. Today's commentary slash summary is about the Korean show, specifically South Korean show titled The Silent Sea. The director is named Choi Yong, as listed on IMDb. So, in this world, we're introduced to a time in which water is a resource that is considered a luxury, and it's so bad that the civilians have to basically ration the amount of water that they get. And it seems as though whatever system they have going on, that the water is running out. And we also see that that's affecting, obviously, the people who need water because we're human beings, but also you don't see much, really any plant life when we see certain scenes of civilian locations, and we occasionally will see an animal, but I believe in the show they bring up, putting your animals down because they just simply don't have enough water for the humans, let alone the animals. So occasionally you'll see a dog, even a few of our main characters interact with dogs, but it's sort of, again, a luxury to be able to take care of an animal. If anything, most people are not. Throughout these 8 episodes, this crew or team is sent on some sort of secret mission that only really the higher ups and the captain know about. Like, he's the only one who really knows the details of what they have to go back into space to look for. And with each episode, there's like a slow reveal on some version of a secret that all leads back to why they're there in the first place. Unfortunately, there's sort of like a sci-fi horror element in this, and we find that that secret mission has a lot of danger involved, which I think they were aware of, but I don't think they knew to what extent because obviously they weren't really told what they were doing. It seems like the backgrounds for some of these main characters, or some of them are like doctors, probably soldiers, army, researchers, so on and so forth. And our main characters, we get a little bit of exposition and backstory on, who they are or who they have been within this time of, natural resources running out, sort of a little bit of what they do in bits and pieces, and basically what they're fighting for. So, like, the captain is doing a lot of stuff for his daughter who is very ill, and one of our main doctors, she has sort of a connection to this secret mission a lot more than she would have thought. Um, but it's very clear that she is going there for personal reasons. She just didn't really know the full extent of what was going to unravel. And I think that this show does a really good job at revealing the secret in such a terrifying and still very entertaining way, and giving the crew sort of what they're wanting for the future that could help people, but it having sort of like disastrous risk, which is sort of beautiful in a way that's like, be careful what you wish for, and also it can never be that easy, right? And I think the thing that makes this show really good, and a lot of newer shows just don't always make the cut recently, is probably because it had really good writers, right? The actors are phenomenal. I've seen a lot of them in other K dramas and K shows before. They really stand their ground. You really want them to win, even when you know that there are a lot of odds that probably show that they won't. And they work well together, especially when you have something that's like horror or sci-fi. Of course, you always have characters that are in a certain location, and the or setting and plot really will unravel around that environment. But for the most part, this crew is really isolated in a very specific location that's even more isolated. And so it could be really boring if it weren't for good writing and good acting. And I do wonder, like, on set, how they interacted with this setting. Like, was it on a sound stage? Was most of it CGI? Because that'll tell me how much harder these actors had to work. That's, they were working hard already, but to have to even imagine a lot of things with CGI and still deliver, that's impressive. If you like things to be unraveled, sort of in the title of each episode as you go on, and the again cast did a great job. The characters are believable and interesting and not super likable in that they are likable, but they're flawed. Most of them know they're flawed or they don't care. Some of them are seen as villains. A lot of them have a connection to each other that they didn't even know until later. So it's really interesting. And I think above all, there's a bit of humanity left in them, um, especially in our main character who's one of the doctors and has a connection with her family and to this mission as it unravels, and you see bits and pieces of her still having a lot of kindness